we've got change and excitement. We've got karmic lessons. We've got some deteriorating motivation, and we've got an uplifting spiritual sense of feeling of getting back into your practices, your rituals. All of that is happening and going on right now up in our sky. Stay tuned because this is your energy forecast for, what are we in? June 6th through the 12th, June 6th through the 12th. I'm going to tell you where our beautiful moon is transiting this week, what else is going on with some of the planets in our sky. Plus, Mercury is out of retrograde, but we still need to be careful because there's some things that we want to look out for the next couple of weeks. And our beautiful planet of Saturn, our karma planet, is going retrograde. Hey, my friend, welcome back to Your Spiritual Designer. Danny Simuni's here, the beautiful owner, CEO, whatever you want to call me. I don't care. Helping people find clarity on their spiritual journey. One of my favorite things to do is to help people understand who they are through the astrological lens, and then take that information and clear away all the programming, all the messaging, all the ancestral lines of karma, all the things from past lives, so that they can truly honor who they are in this time and fulfill their soul mission. So today, we are talking about our energy forecast. If you want to learn more about me and the work that I do, go to thepeaceteacher.com. That is my website. You'll find a link down below along with everything that I'm going to talk about in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. If you have not subscribed, I do these videos weekly. We're committing to that again. We're going to be doing these weekly again, so that you know exactly what's going on in our sky and can navigate it, because that's what this is all about. Right? It's about getting this information and using it in our daily life, not sitting back and worrying about it and fretting, but using it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, let me pull up our chart here. I go back and forth with using charts. Some programs I love, some programs I don't like so much. Some things I like about certain ones, some things I don't like about other ones. So we are going to use Luna astrology today. Their charts are just so pretty. I love this purple nature going on here. Okay, so let's look at where our moon will be transiting. So as of Monday, June 6, 2022, our moon is transiting, and we can see this here on our chart, is transiting through the beautiful sign of Leo. So Leo is our fire sign. Fire signs are our action signs, are getting started, getting things going type energy, or moving things, right? And so when we think of Leo, Leo is a very charismatic energy. So this is a really great time to put yourself out there in a way that you're wanting to, right? That is kind of a little bit more out there, is kind of really showing yourself. Leo likes to be seen. Leo needs an audience. You might know a Leo who, you know, they're the ones at the party that has everybody listening to their stories, right? They're so captivated by this Leo energy. And I don't just mean Leo suns, because our Leo risings can do that. If we've got Mercury in Leo, we could see that. Mars in Leo, we could see that. But they're very captivating. They can captivate, and they love to captivate an audience. So we can use this energy for those of us that may not be so captivating. We can use this energy over the next couple of days, Monday and Tuesday to be exact, to captivate our audiences, captivate those around us. Leo is also a leader. It is a natural leader. They naturally step in and have that ability to lead, right? So if you are somebody who is a leader, and I'm pretty sure you are, because if you're watching this video, you are leading something, whether that's leading your dog, leading your cat, well, I don't know if cats necessarily need leading. I think they lead their own selves. Maybe you have kids or your family. Maybe you're the black sheep that is leading the family out of those ancestral paradigms, right? These are the things that we as leaders, if you're here, I know you're a generational breaker, like you're breaking those patterns, you're breaking those ancestral lines, like I know it, you're here to change, right? So if that is you, this is a really good time to step into those things that are for you, right? That are your leading, how you're leading people, how you're engaging people, how you're being charismatic. Use this energy for that. Use this energy to get out and get going. Now, Wednesday and Thursday, we can take this energy of creation, which is Leo, very much creation, and now get a nice system and structure, get it organized, get it planned out with our Virgo energy. So Wednesday through Thursday, our moon will be transiting through Virgo. So wherever our moon is transiting, this is our emotional energy. And so we're going to be in that emotional energy of getting things organized, getting things together, like getting some structure to things, getting some systems to things. So this would be a really good time to look at the systems and structures in your life, whether that's in your home, whether that's in your work, in your business. What are the systems and structures that need a little tweaking? What needs to get organized and prepared, right? What do we need to, maybe it's your morning routine, right? Maybe it's your evening routine. Maybe it's what you do throughout the day, right? Take some time to look at how can you shift things so that they're nice and like revisiting, right? Every time the moon is in Virgo, it's a beautiful opportunity for us to revisit any habits, any systems, any structures that we have and shift them. All right, so then Friday and Saturday, our moon, I'm not advanced. I'm looking at my notes and I'm not advancing. I'm so sorry, my friends. Okay, so let's move on. So we can see here, our moon is in Virgo on Wednesday, moving over to Thursday, still in Virgo. And then we get over to Friday, and there we go. We are in Libra. So Friday and Saturday, our moon will be in Libra. So when we are in Libra, this is an air sign. Air signs are all about thinking. They're all in the mind, right? So the energy is going to shift from in the body, which was a Virgo, to in the mind with Libra. Now, Libra is a really great sign for weighing the options, being able to look at all the things and weigh the options. So if there's some decisions that you're looking to make and you need to weigh the options, this is a really good time to do it. This is also a really good time to brainstorm. Maybe you're thinking of trying something new. Maybe you're looking at doing something different. This is a good time to do it. Maybe you're wanting to learn something. Air signs are beautiful times to learn something. Libra's really good point is really on that decision, you know, going back and forth and looking. Oftentimes they say Libra is indecisive, but I like to look at it as, man, they're looking at all the options so that they can make a very sound decision, right? So we use this energy with Libra to get, you know, Virgo to kind of get everything. What do we need to look at? Libra to weigh everything out and see, how does this fit? And then when we get into Scorpio, we can let it sit for a little before we move to Sagittarius and make that decision. So we can have some time here. For those of you that like to take your time in thinking things through or having a plan, right? This is a really, really great energy to kind of go through that, like have that process and take the time to make that decision. Now, by the time we get to Sunday, our energy will shift into our water energy of Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is our deep energy. Scorpio loves to go deep. It goes beyond the surface. It gets down in there and wants to know what is hidden. Like, let me see what's down there, right? It wants to go down and see what is there. What can I not see? I want to go see it, right? It's like when you go down into a basement and you're like, you got a flashlight, like what's in here, right? For those of you that like to yard sale like me, it's like a trove of treasures, right? Or maybe you're somebody who loves to go into a department store and it's like, ooh, what sales am I going to find? Or what good pieces am I going to find, right? This is where we dig in, right? I used to work, one of my very first jobs out of high school was at Burlington Coat Factory. And I was a cashier, but I also worked sometimes in the departments because they needed some extra help. And so I loved working there because I would go into the women's department, right, area, and there's like racks and racks and racks of clothes. And I would just spend my time just like going through each and everything, right? Looking for the hidden clearance items, looking for those hidden treasures of like the exact pants or the exact skirts or shirts or sweaters or whatever it was, right? Looking for it, the shoes, right? Those types of stores, they're so big and they have so many clothes, right? That you got to dig through. This is that Scorpio energy. So if you're somebody that, you know how some days you don't want to go, you're like, can you Amazon, can you just deliver it to me? I don't want to go do it. I don't want to go search for it. Like, I saw this deal. I want it now. It's coming tomorrow, right? That's not Scorpio energy. That's an Aries energy. Scorpio is like, I want to go to the store and I want to look through all the things, right? But this can be in anything. This is a beautiful time for transformation work. This is a beautiful time to like really dig into a topic that you're interested in, maybe learning some more about, maybe astrology, right? Digging in. This is a really good time, uncovering things, right? That's within ourselves and also with others. All right, so that is our moon energy for the week. I'd love to know in the comments, what moon energy are you looking forward to this week? Okay, so as we are going through this week, we're going to hear, so you can see we're going to fire, to earth, to air, to water, right? We're going through all 4 elements this week. So there's going to be some transition. I just want to make you aware of that. Sometimes we only go through maybe 3 signs. This time we're going through 4. So there could be some feelings of, of this up and down, like things are shifting. We can ride, got too excited there. We can ride that wave, or we can, go with it, or we can fight it. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to fight it. I want to go with it. So now that we know how to go with it. Well, we're also going to talk about a couple other things that are coming up soon. So I want to now talk about our oil of the week. Our oil of the week is Vetiver. See if I can show you it on our screen here. There we go. Vetiver. Vetiver is great because it is the oil of centering and discernment. Centering and discernment. So this is a beautiful, beautiful oil for meditation, for wanting to center in to your body. It's a good time, like if you're feeling anxious or feeling overwhelmed, right? Oftentimes we're out of our body in those states, so we want to come back into our body. So Vetiver can help us become present, center us, and it also helps us discern. Because in just a couple minutes, I'm going to be talking about a couple different things that are happening in our sky that we're going to want that extra discernment. Now, Vetiver is great for just on a normal basis, for meditations, for anytime you're journaling, right? And you want to like center in and journal in making decisions, right? We want to come from a very grounded place. We don't want to be high emotionally, right? When we're making decisions, we want to be centered, right? Calm, balanced, making decisions. And this can really, really help with doing that. Now, this is one of the oils that it's a rollerball. So it's Vetiver with fractionated coconut oil. And doTERRA is really great. They have it already done for you in this nice little roller. So all you got to do is take it out, take the lid out. There's a little roller ball here. You just roll it, bam. I will say it's not the most beautiful smelling fragrant. Is very earthy. to me, now that I use it so much, it just becomes like, it's like my spiritual sense. Like it smells very spiritual to me now, because just basically the way I use it. But you can use this, like I said, meditation, journaling, decision making. I used this right before I got on this video to really help me center and be present and say the things that I want to say to you today, so that you get the information you need. This oil does help you get rooted in life, right? Rooted in life. So if you've been feeling like life has been chaotic, or it may be coming, right? We just had Mercury retrograde. We are out, right? We're in Mercury, which is direct, but we are still in the shadow period over the next couple of weeks. So things still could be coming up, and maybe we need to take some extra discernment. So this is the oil that I took on vacation with me just this past week, celebrating my 43rd birthday. Hey. And so this is what I took. I took Vetiver with me. I took about 20 different oils, but this is the one of them that I took because I knew, for one, we were Mercury retrograde. I also took my Mercury retrograde rollerball with me as well, because we were traveling, and you know how things can happen with Mercury. But this was really great for me while I was away, because there was some time where I was able to sit down and journal and really think through some things that have like some shifts that I'm making in my life. And so this is really, really helpful. So this can really help you deeply connect to what you think and feel, which is one of the reasons why I really, really love this, and highly recommend for meditations and journaling, especially if you're somebody who's in self-awareness, self-development, like being the best version of yourself. Vetiver. Okay, so if you're interested in getting Vetiver, or you want to learn more about it, there's a link down in the comments or description. There you go. Okay, so let's get into some of the things now. Let's transition and get into some of the things that are happening in our sky. There's 3 major things that I want to talk about that are happening right now, and they're really coming to their full power. Now, the first one I want to talk about is Venus conjunct Uranus. So that's these 2 guys right here. Now, as you can see in this chart on the 11th, they are both at 22 degrees, which means they are exact. Now, leading up to that, they are getting closer, okay? So we go back to Monday here. They're about 6 degrees apart, which 6 degrees, depending on the astrologer, will say that's conjunct. I go by at least 6 degrees, a little bit more. I'm like, but the energy is, my point of this is that the energy is getting closer. Whenever we have 2 planets that are what's called conjunct, they are sharing energy. Okay, so if we look at Venus and we look at Uranus, we look at their energies. They're kind of emerging, right? They're connected, right? We talk more about this in my Nurture Your Star series. So that is starting in July too. So if you're interested in learning more about your birth chart, your natal chart, all the planets, all the zodiac signs, aspects, we go into detail with that. And we talk about essential oils and how to use them for each of these planets, which is really great. So with this conjunction, we want to look at Venus conjunct Uranus. Venus is our planet of beauty, money, love. Uranus is our planet of technology, of community. It's also our planet that is the rebellion. It's the rebel, right? It literally rotates on its belly. It doesn't rotate like all the other planets. It does its own thing. So when we have this love, beauty, money, energy mixed with this rebellion, unexpected, stimulating, right, energy, look out, because there's change and excitement in both money and love. Increase. You may be feeling an increase or need for stimulation, right? You're like, I need stimuli. I need to be seeing things. I need to be my senses, right? I need to be triggering my senses. Maybe that's smell, maybe that's touch, maybe that's taste, right? There's this increase in this need for stimulating, being stimulated, okay? So there could be sudden or unexpected changes that are happening with this energy, whether that is with you as it relates to love or money, right? Because we're talking about Venus, and other people around you, right? This energy isn't just us. Everybody is experiencing it. And so there could be people around you in your environment, right? That it's happening to them. And because it's happening to them, you may be on the receiving end, right? So with my love and I, he may be going through something, some type of change, unexpected change as it relates to, let's say, money. Now, is that going to directly impact me? Absolutely, whether that's good or bad, right? Whether it's he gets more money comes to him, or he gets less money. Either way, it's going to affect me, correct? Same with me, and I would affect him. So there could be some changes, right, with those around you that are affecting you. So if things have also been feeling a little more stagnant, a little bit more routine, this is the energy to spice things up. So we're talking about love here. So if in your relationship, right, things have been feeling like, okay, this is very clockwork, right? It's very routine. It's kind of stagnant. It's just kind of boring. Like, this is the time to spice things up, right? Spice things up in whatever way that is going to be healthy. Okay. There could be the tendency here to wanting to shake things up. And so you do something maybe that is not the best way to shake things up, right? Like, I'll give you an example. Back in my younger days, right? I would, if I wanted to, kick things up, so to speak, in my relationship, I might go flirt with somebody, right? I might go flirt with a guy and, try to get that attention to get my partner to notice me, right? Or now, is that a healthy way to do it? No, absolutely not. I do not recommend it. It is not a good way to do it. But do you see? I'm using kind of an extreme example, right? Like, I'm going to go flirt with another guy to get my partner to notice me. But we do this. I was doing it on a very unconscious level. I was not aware of my actions, right? So it was very unconscious. But there could be other things that we do. Maybe we start an argument because we want that fire, that passion. So we start an argument, right? Pay attention, my friend. Pay attention, because there could be some subtle things unconsciously that are happening that are being brought to the surface. Okay. So I want you to, they're coming to a surface for a reason, right? They're coming to surface for you to look at, for you to acknowledge, for you to understand, so that you can become a better version of you. All right. Yeah, the last thing on this one, impulse buying. Be careful. Impulse buying, like, check your budget, make sure you've got the funds. Don't on the aisles, don't look, put the blinders on. They always got those little impulse buys in the aisles. Don't do it. But if you are an entrepreneur and you have a business, launch something small, put something out there that people can buy. Okay. Now let's move on to our next one I want to talk about, which is Mars and Chiron. So we can see Mars and Chiron here. So on Monday, we can see Mars is at 15 degrees Pisces and Chiron is at 21 degrees Pisces. Now we also have Jupiter in this mix, which is 10 degrees. So it's about 5 degrees off of Mars, and it's about 11 degrees off of Chiron. But we're really going to focus on first this Mars Chiron energy, because it is getting closer. Although Jupiter is playing a role in here and it is getting closer to Mars, what that is going to do is whatever Jupiter is with, it's going to expand. So I want to talk about Mars and Chiron because you can just add in that it's going to be exemplified, right? It's going to be expanded. So as we go through the week, you can see that it is moving closer and closer to Chiron. We're at 18 degrees and 21 degrees. By the time we get to Sunday, it'll be 19 degrees and 21 degrees. So next week we will have an exact, but this energy is moving forward, which is why I wanted to talk about it this week, because we could be, could be having some of this already. So when we look at Mars and we look at Chiron, so what are these energies? Now, Mars is our warrior. It's our motivation. It's our energy, right? Chiron is our wounds, often called the wounded healer. So these are deep wounds. These might be from childhood. These might be from past lives, right? These are experiences that wounded us. They're traumatic experiences. And when I say traumatic experiences range. They range from something being, like you being called fat at school. Now, some people might be like, well, that's not traumatic. Well, traumatic is into the eyes of the beholder, okay? If it affected you, if it wounded you, my friend, that is a traumatic experience, right? We often think of, oh, I was raped, or oh, I was hit, or like I was physically abused, or I was abandoned. And those are all very, very traumatic experiences. But somebody calling you fat at 8 years old when you wore a certain dress can definitely be a traumatic experience. So those wounds that we have, Mars with those are asking those to come to the surface for us. Okay. So things that may have been swept under the rug, maybe you have put them to the side and like, I don't want to deal with you, or I don't want to, like, this isn't, that was a long time ago, I don't want to deal with it. Those are coming to the surface for you to heal, for you to take action on, because Mars is that action oriented energy. So it wants you to take action on. So something is coming, something from the past that is coming to the present right now. If something's happened recently and if you got triggered by something and you're like, whoa, that reminds me of this from this time or this years ago or whatever it is, right? It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be in your childhood. It could be later, right? In your younger years. They're coming to the surface for you to heal. Pay attention to those, okay? They're asking you to let go. They're asking you to get rid of these painful thoughts, these painful beliefs, to actually heal. And if you've been around here, you know my 4 stages of healing, right? We've got to be aware that we have a problem. We've got to understand why we have the problem or what it is behind it. We've got to forgive ourselves and forgive the others that are involved. And then we got to let it go so we can move forward. Okay, those are the 4 stages of healing. And so this is coming up, right, for us to look at, for us to heal. Okay, take action. Take action on it, right? Go through those 4 stages. Get with somebody, get with a healer, get with a counselor. Like, I'm available, right? There's a link in the description box down below. Book a session with me, right? That we can work through these things. So this is the perfect time to do it. Okay. If you've been waiting for a time to work on something, this is the time to do it. If you felt hopeless or like lost your motivation, right? You could feel this during this time. And I want you to know that this too shall pass. This too shall pass, right? Don't feel defeated. Don't feel deflated, right? When you do that, you're giving your power away. I was talking to a client just the other night, and there were things that were happening, and it was like, well, we are letting our power go. We're letting others take our power. We are in control of our power, and we want to always keep our power. Okay. So don't let it fill, don't let it defeat you. Don't let it deflate you. Let's work through this. Let's get your power back. Okay. There could also be some passive aggressive behavior here, whether that's you, right? Like I said, with, starting an argument with your partner, right? When we're talking about Venus and Uranus, but this is a mix, right? Because this energy is happening. This is happening as well. So these two are both kind of happening around us, and there could be some combustion, right? So the passive aggressive of like starting the fight to get him to notice you, but because there's some wounds that you have around relationships that are coming to the surface. You see how this can all come together. So be very, that's why Vetiver was my choice this week, because these things are, and it's probably going to be my choice next week too, because these things are happening, right? These things are coming, and we want to stay balanced. We want to stay present, and we want to be able to connect our mind and body and make sure that we're bringing to the surface what needs to be healed, what needs to be let go, what needs to be forgiven, right? So that we can move forward. Now, the final thing I want to talk about today, if that wasn't enough, is our Saturn, our beautiful planet of Saturn. Our beautiful planet of Saturn is going retrograde. Now, there's, different dates that people are giving for the Saturn retrograde period. The chart that I love and the chart that I like, it's not this particular chart, because this particular chart says that we're going retrograde on, I believe it's like the 5th. I do not agree with that. Based on the chart, the actual chart that I love to look at for these things, it does say that Saturn is going retrograde. It'll be stationary. It'll be retrograde stationary, and then it'll be retrograde on the 10th. So whether you're taking, the 5th date or you're taking the 10th date, Saturn, right? This week is going retrograde. So what does that mean? Saturn is our father figure, right? It's the very masculine energy of all of our planets. And so this is like karma. It's often called the karma planet. Now, there's a lot of really good things within Saturn, and there also is some challenging things with Saturn. And so some really positive things when Saturn goes retrograde is it helps us really take a look at where it is that we're going. Saturn is very interested in the long term, right? That really solid foundation so that we can build the wealth, we can build the relationships, we can build the career, we can build the business, right? The nonprofits, the passion projects that we love, right? That's what that energy is all about. So when it's retrograde, it's asking us to look at that, to revisit that, to connect back to it, make any adjustments so that when it goes forward again, when it goes direct, that we're like, okay, we're ready to go, right? We know this foundation is solid, right? I went over tons of bridges over the past week, going from Texas to Florida, and tons, if you saw my stories, tons of water and bridges over water, right? There were some that were miles long. Now, I'm not a big fan of bridges, so this is very, very trying for me. And luckily I survived, but there was some of them that I would get a little bit anxious about, right? But I also consciously knew that these bridges were solid. They had a solid foundation, right? The engineers, the construction workers that built these bridges, right? They built a very solid foundation. Even over water, they were able to build solid foundations. That's what Saturn is asking us to do, to really make sure we're building a solid foundation for our long term, right? Like for those bridges, years and years of use, right? So there could also be, let's look at the other side here, karma getting sorted out. Now, karma isn't good or bad. I did a class on this in Align to Amplify a couple months ago, and it was all about karma. Is it good or bad? Karma isn't either. It's the way that we're perceiving it, first off. But there could be, like, if you've been putting out, it's really based on what you're putting out. If you've been putting out negativity, if you've been putting out not so good things into the world, well, what do you think you're going to get back? Right. Not so good things. If you've been putting out really good things into the world, you've been helping people and you've been doing really good work, what do you think is going to come back? Exactly. Good things. So karma is basically what you put out, you get back. 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 Now, the thing that people get a little bit confused on is like, it's like they want it one for one, right? If I give $100, I want $100 back. Well, it doesn't work that way. That value of $100 will come back to you in some way. Maybe that's a coupon. Maybe that's a couple coupons, right? It's going to come back to you in different, maybe it's an item somebody gifts you, right? There's a million ways that this could come back. We are not in charge of that. We are just open to receiving. Okay. So there could be some karma being sorted out. Now, Saturn does go retrograde at least once a year. And usually about 4.5 months, just depending, right? So we're starting here in June. So June, July, August, September. So end of December, we're going to see September, not December, September, we're going to see Saturn move direct again. We've got this 4.5 month period to really take a look at what is coming to us, okay? This is where we are aware. This is why we're using our Vetiver to be present and discern, okay? So it's like past, present, and future, they're all coming together. They're all blurred. We just wrapping up a show called Future Man on Hulu. It's a little interesting to get started. A little not my normal type of show, but there's some really interesting things about time and time travel and the way that we work with time and energy, which is one of the reasons why I do like the show from a little bit of a stepping back, not my normal humor, but it's good. It's cool. It's good. But they, right now there's this episode where like everything, all these timelines are just merging together. That's what Saturn retrograde is kind of like. It's like all of these timelines, past, present, future, are just coming together and they're all here for us to sort out. Okay, so really great time to actually move things forward pretty quickly, right? If the future is right here, well, hello, great, I got what I wanted. I'm here. I'm where I want to be, right? So we can use that as well. Now, there could also feel like there's some limitation, there's some restriction, some anxiety, some fear. This could also be coming in as well, okay? So I want you to be aware of that. That's why we're using Vetiver to stay present, right? Staying present and discerning. Two very important things, being present and discerning. All right. So this is what I want you to think of this time as, is it's kind of like you're taking stock. It's like, let me see, those of you that make a list to go grocery shopping, raise your hand. Or those of you that mentally do it, right? What do we kind of do? We kind of like go through our pantry or go through our fridge. It's like, what do we have? What do we need? Right? What's going on? Make a list, right? My mom was like very, I think she's Capricorn energy, right? Very like, very, very much a planner. Like every week she would write a list, right? She'd write the menu out and then she'd go through the cupboards and look in the fridge and see what we have and write a list of the things that she needed. Very diligent about that. I swear, every week, go to the store, buy the groceries and more and come home, right? So, but it's very much like that. It's like sorting the things out, right? Seeing what we have, what we need, where we're going to do things, where we're going to move things so that when this period is over, we can move forward. Right? Sometimes we have to take a step back so that we can move forward. Oftentimes we're just trying to move forward, but all we're doing is spinning our wheels, right? Retrograde periods ask us to pause, reflect back so that we can move forward on the right path, in the right direction, okay? So the last thing that you could be feeling with this, which is why I want to say this, is extra responsibility. Now, for those of you that already feel very responsible, I'll raise my hand on here. I'm a Capricorn rising. I feel very responsible for a lot of things. Like I hold a lot of responsibility, and it's something that I've had to work through a lot, right? Over the past, I don't know, probably almost a decade now, right? Working through these things is I've really I feel responsible. And so this return could make you feel extra responsible. Like you're having to take on more responsibility than maybe you haven't. So look at that. Why am I feeling the need to take on extra responsibility? What is behind that, right? The other thing to look at is whenever we want to make a change, whenever we want to work towards our goals, or if you think about whatever your goals are in this life, right? Whatever your purpose is, whatever your mission is, or whatever you're currently working towards, right? That way of being is going to have extra responsibility. Am I correct? Yeah, you're going to have to do more things. You're going to have to hold more people maybe, right? For me, if I look at the future of the peace teacher, where I want to take that, right? I'm going to have more responsibility. I'll have more people who are working within the company. I'll have more clients, right? I'll have my message will be out there more, which holds more responsibility, more than I have now. So Saturn's kind of like, well, Danny, you want that, right? You want all this. Are you ready for that extra responsibility? What do I need to do right now so that I can hold that extra responsibility? That might be something, right? That during this period, I can look at. And I might even be challenged, right? I might even be challenged. Saturn might be like, are you sure? Are you sure you want that? Let me see it. Let me see it. Let me see it. Let me test you out. Let's see if you can do it. See if you can handle it. It might. This is what Saturn retrograde is. So, my friend, there's a lot going on in our sky right now. If you can tell just by what I've talked about today, this is a lot going on. And then, some of these things are going to be going on for a couple of weeks. And then, as we talked about with Saturn, for another 4.5 months. Okay. So keep that in mind as things are going on, as you're out and about doing your things, these energies are happening. And just remember, ask yourself, you are in control. You always have the power, right? How? What is this? Why? Ask yourself questions. Best thing, use your Vetiver, right? Journal. The last thing I want to tell you today before we wrap up is since there is a lot of energy happening, right? There is a lot of things happening. Our energy can get a little wonky. It can get a little not so great. And if you're an empath or sensitive like me, you probably sense, right, certain things and get very, like, you might absorb other people's energy, which I didn't realize I was doing. And I was like, why do I feel so bad? Nothing's going on. But I was absorbing other people's energy with those of us who are empaths and sensitives. This is what happens, right? And so we got to protect ourselves. And so I want to show you how to protect yourself. I want to show you how to keep your energy clear and how to protect your energy, even if you're just at home, but especially if you're going out into the world, whether it's through work, especially if you're on social media, like, we got to protect ourselves, right? And so now more than ever, it is really important that we're protecting ourselves. So I'm hosting a class on June 14th, 2022. It's on a Tuesday. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's about 90 minutes. And I'm going to show you, we're going to talk all about energy. We're going to talk about ways to protect yourself. I'm going to teach you skills. I'm going to teach you routines, habits, techniques, routines that you can do every single day to keep your energy protected. It is our most valuable asset, and we want to make sure that we're keeping it protected at all times. This is things that I did all the way from, Texas to Florida, while I was in Florida, all the way back, and plus things that I do every single day. I'll show you and tell you exactly what those are. So if you're interested, there's a link down in the description, but you'll want to go to thepeaceteacher.com/EPC. It's $33 and you'll get this beautiful class. If you can't make it live, no worries, there'll be a replay sent out. All right, so I want to make sure you were aware of that, because I know some people are like, you have classes and I missed them. So I'm telling you here, if you're catching this, past this, look to see at thepeaceteacher.com what upcoming classes we have going on. All right, my friend, and that is it for us today. I hope you have enjoyed this video as much as I have enjoyed making it for you. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Anything that you are taking away from today as well, let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you. All right, my friend, as always, remember, close your eyes and take a deep breath. And find peace.